Well, I try to explain uh, as a remove uh, and remote history of the Germans, where they denied that that things in the computer world does not exist, precisely like it was in World War II, where those Nazis denied that things like that happened. And now we change, going 40 years further. Huh? What started that time? Huh? Yeah, right. The German politician start organizing things out of the computer technology. Yes. First secretly they place a microscopic brain chip inside the body. The victim does not know where it is placed. You know what's very difficult? When a victim wants to see the bag, for instance. Yes. Another story, the victim does not know where precisely on the bag it was placed. Yes, in the chest, in the neck, or a little bit down. Huh? That thing was organized by German politicians. And then, through that embedded chip, which I call it genetic mine. Yes, that thing is able to receive a phone call connection, so-called. Yes, and from the computer where those Nazi rats are sitting, they got software program which they use. I don't care who is the owner of the patented software. Yes? But certainly those German military and secret service staff got that so-called brain programming software. Yes. And they find all the electronic connections in the brain cells. And they categorize them. Since then, yes, they were able to program a movie and stimulate that movie at any time in the night inside the dreaming cells. Yes, that is the first computer organized cell datei where they can have access. Yes, whenever they want, they program a movie and stimulate that inside your dreaming cells. And there are two different kinds of computer software which they can use. One is only wrapping. The second one is they use you as an active person inside that dream, inside that video. They force you in a night when they stimulate that video to be awake and participate in that virtual reality life. And those second one, those dirty Nazis, I don't know precisely how many of them they send inside the dreaming cells. Yes, those both, yes, since 87, November 87, they organized a dream, a video, and placed it in the dreaming cells. What region did they got that time already? Huh? Yes, perhaps listen on conversation there was that time, or sniffing around inside the thinking cells to spy on the thinking. For sure that as well, that time, November 87. But then, they were also able to reach the sleeping cells as a second one, which is ugly. Yes? Those computer Nazi rights are able to put me wherever I am in deep sleep within 10-15 minutes. Yes? That happened the time I was working on my working place in Trier, Treves, in Germany. Yes? I wake up 6 o'clock in the morning. I had some breakfast. I stepped on my bike and I drove from Konz to Treves. And 7 o'clock I start working. I didn't have any kind of bad dream in that night before. I slept well and I was physically normal, fit. Yes? They put me into deep sleep. And then, again, they stimulate a video inside the dreaming cells. Again, a very sad and ugly movie, a violent movie. Yes? And that violent movie was such ugly that I started crying. Even weeks later, all the time when I think about that movie, with those Nazi rats programmed and placed there. Yes? And at the moment, I forgot that the important thing put me in deep sleep were not stabilized in my mind that time. It comes later because of that shocking movie. They show me a movie where a baby was sticked with a pillow, you know? And then the next step, not only put me in deep sleep from their computer, also kept me awake. That's another story. In 1993, they start keeping me awake. I was unable to work anymore. Yes, 3 days, 3 nights, 4 days, 4 nights. All that long time, year after year, 1993, 1994, 1995, 1996, 1997, you know? And I fell down from the normal incomes I had between 5,000 and 10,000 D-Mark each month. Yes? They put me back. Unemployed money, then Social Security. And all the time, when I try to work again, they start torturing inside the dreaming cells. They terrorize. And because of the crimes they did, between 1987 and 1993, they thought they had some talks among those Nazis, what they can do. Yes, the best way to isolate, to keep is tortured women, tortured men in starving situations. Yes, terrorize them day and night, torture them when they want to work. You know, the only reason is to destroy the defense of the victims. There's no defense, you know? When there is somebody who terrorizes you in the dreaming cells, you go to the police. You complain by the police. But the police don't investigate because the prosecutor don't want to investigate. So what you can do in a democracy? Yes. And when you have Social Security, they know precisely, you won't find any kind of lawyer who fight for your human rights. These are things you don't see unless you scan the air, you scan the frequency. Oh, and then you can find what? A German military satellite connection, and you don't see. You can read. You can't read in between, but you can see there's a connection. You know. But the prosecutor, when he closes a case, you apply against his decision. The next prosecutor comes. He also closes the case. You apply against his decision. And the highest prosecutor in your local area also closes the case. Yes. In 1993, they did more preparing things to organize. Yes? I mean those things which happened between 87 and 1993, that those Nazis think they got to right because they are untraceable Huh? Yes, they are untraceable, organized by the government. Huh? Yes, and they do a lot of other things that time. In 1991, I stand in front of a mirror and I wonder, I had some things I screeched and I noticed that there were a strange thing ongoing on my left eye, on my left pupil. You know, there's the iris that looks like a star on both eyes. But on the left side, it changed the structure. At that time, you know, what followed next? 1992, I said on, I was listening radio or news, and I said, and suddenly I noticed something start getting painful and very, very slow. No, not very slow, sorry. Very quick. And I wonder what it was. And I stand up, went to the toilet in front of a mirror, and I was watching on my lips. I had this so-called herpes inside me. This is when I feel disgust about something. Then it starts developing, or when I'm angry, or I can't swallow that being angry, then it starts developing. Yes? And it starts, I feel this, and it take about 2 days, and then it's all there. And then I use some medical liquid, put it, and then it gets dry and going back. But that time, you know, that entire natural process, it starts. And it took 15, 20 minutes or 1 hour. And it was the same procedure like it was for 2 days. So that Nazi was stimulated. And he also directed where it's going to develop. Yes. So that Nazi is working on genetics. Yes. He robbed it out of the body and placed it inside the body when he wants. Another point. Yes. It's not only that one. He also in the last 2 years, when Mr. Pistorius is head of the Nazis. You see on my tongue what he did? Yes, that sadistic Nazi stimulated there, because he wanted to stimulate it there. Yes, sorry, American, sorry, British soldiers. Eh? What would you do with a Nazi red like that, when he do that with you? Eh? Come on, guys. Come on, ladies. Huh? That's not the only thing. In 1991, I felt something. I just went up the stairs up to my sleeping room. I lay down and I had some written words in my memory. Yes, it was a script on a t-shirt a neighbor were wearing. And I wonder, that time was very cold, and I wonder why he's with short trousers outside. And then when I watch him, there was two words on his t-shirt: "Release me, release me." I don't know what it is, you know. And when I were on my bed, and I thought about that story, why he didn't put warm trousers or something. Paf! On my genitals on the right side, there was something like a rubber band, smashed, disconnect. Yes, 1991. So, for me, it was sure that Nazi is also castrating me from that computer. Yes? And then, a half year later, he raped me inside the dreaming cells. Yes? There was a girl, friend of us in the neighborhood, a girl called Jennifer Bockwacker, you know? And that Nazi, he plays in the end of that movie, which he stimulated in virtual reality inside my dreaming cells. In the end, he plays her face inside that movie. And when you have that movie, you see the normal behavior out of the observation between 87 and 1991. They use that so-called intimity, the special thing you only share with your woman or with a woman you love inside the bed. What you're doing with a woman inside the bed. Yes? They take that out and place that child in between. You know? Forcing people to talk about things like that. It's going very, very deep inside the things where they... What do you think? Huh? When you notice there are Nazis inside your brain cells. They have programming in your dreaming cells. They doing things with your left ear, with your left eye. They stimulate these genetic changes. They change the structure. You don't have any kind of thing in your life left. When they observe you in the bed, they know what you're doing. And the things which they've done after. Yes. It's only 666 left over. You know? And in 1993, they used another virtual reality dream inside my dreaming cells. At that time, that movie start, I sit under a railway bridge together with my son on my knees. there was no beginning. You know, usually my son and I, we were driving bicycle the time we were together. But in 1993, we wasn't together anymore. They placed us under the railway bridge. And then a train started coming. Huh? And I was wondering why the train, the noise of the train is getting higher and higher and higher. Huh? And then I saw myself, because it was a virtual reality movie, I saw myself and I put my hands on the ear of my son to protect his ear from that noise. But the train still were getting louder and louder and louder and louder. And after that, I couldn't stand it anymore. Me, of course, also my son, but in reality he wasn't there, only as graphic, you know. And then I left my hands. I put the head of my son between my legs. I press the legs to protect his ear, and then I try to protect my ears with my both hands. But the train still were going louder and louder and louder, and then suddenly it stopped. You know? That military Nazi who did that, or that Secret Service military Nazi who did that, he's a Nazi who belongs in the prison cell, yes, and he is going to wait for his execution, yes, and the next one, you know. On that day, in 1993, that computer Nazi crew took the decision to prepare the next level of terrorizing and torture. Yes. Nothing happened after that dream first. No. And then I made a trip. I met some neighbors, new neighbors, and we made a decision in 1993 to have a trip to Turkey. So we left Germany and drive by bus inside Turkey. And the father and his two children, they had about 6 weeks vacation. You know, school kids. 6 weeks vacation. And I took the decision to stay longer there. I want to see a little bit of a landscape. So I decided to stay. Yes? And in that time, I was visiting a place in Adana called Incirlik. You know, it's a military base of the United States Air Force. And I met a woman, a Spanish woman, and we had some conversation, nothing else. And then I went back to my friends who invited me to stay. And one evening, somebody talked inside my listening cells. But he used American language. That was definitely American. He had access to my listening cells. And he said to me, "Close the door." That time I was in one room of that family who invited me, and it was very hot inside the living room, and I decided to let the door open. At the time I wasn't sleeping, I was awake. So that time, is it a co-production? A membership of the NATO, where the different NATO countries work together and exchange different software programs, where also Americans have access to brain cells? Yes, you see, tortured victims never have any kind of opportunity to talk about what they did. And that was in 1993. And before was that movie with a train. Yes? And that time, yes, that was a reason with a train. They want to build an access to the listening cells, that they have access to have access inside the listening cell and reach you by voices, by information, call you inside the brain, you know? And then nothing happened. But a few days later, yes, there were conversations that time. Even if you call it, I'm talking to myself. I don't care. You know? That Nazi, American Nazi, talk inside my brain. Yes. And I said, I don't take any kind of military order. 3 days or 2 days later, they torture me again with a movie inside the dreaming cells. Also, a manipulate virtual reality movie. You know? I felt very, very sad and unhappy. Yes? It's the same with the genetic. When they place it on a lip, that helps us. Precisely the same. Yes? I need that. Yes? Having something disgusting that I feel inside, or have anger that I swallow. Yes? But that time, nothing else. Nothing at all. You know? Nothing. Nothing who can organize that on a natural behavior. Yes? So, that was definitely run by computer software that time. Yes? And now in Turkey, yes, I felt very, very sad. I was crying or something. Not crying, but that kind of way, that kind of feeling. Yes? And I was in a very ugly room, sitting on a bed on a ground, and I saw a gun in front of me, a weapon. I just pick up the weapon and shoot me twice in the chest. Then I wake up. You know, this kind of torture those military Nazi rats are doing day and night. And then later on, when I was traveling through Turkey, I felt I was listening to a dog. Everywhere I went. Yes, even few hundred kilometers was always the same dog inside the head. The head was a first organized terror inside the listening cells the sound of a dog, always the same dog, yes? City after city after city, hundreds of miles in between, and always the same dog. They start torturing inside the head, the time by that way. Yes? And then later, in February 1996, that time, after 2 days, I smashed my head on the wall because that Nazi didn't stop to talk. Yes? The second day, I smashed my head on the wall. In February 1996, I was organized. I were planning to go to the cemetery to visit the grave, and at that time I just drink a coffee and I want to leave. At that time a Nazi start talking inside the head, and he's talking and he's talking and he's talking and he's talking and he's talking. Another time was for career head of those Nazis. Talking. Yes? And he's not the only one who have access to the listening cells and talks. There are also woman voices who talks. Yes? It's the same crew who did this, all the things which I told you now in that movie. Yes? And then the things with the eye. Huh? Yes. Can you imagine that? Since that Boris Pistorius said of those Nazis, they sent videos inside the seeing cells. Yes? The last 2 years. Until yesterday was today. Yes? The torture in seeing cells. The dirty, ugly computer Nazis from Germany. And they are still connected to the listening cells since February 1996. And those dirty Nazis, they are defending themselves. Yes. And when you see this organized, keeping awake to block your defenses, yes, to smash your lawyer, yes, you need at least lawyers to fight for your rights. Yes, look at what they done. They block you to live a normal life. And they slave trade your brain cells. And now, to the eye. Remember? Yes, 1991 I discovered iris change. Yes, a computerized genetic structuring changes on iris. In 1996, when that Nazi started talking, he went inside the sleeping cells. He kept me awake. Again, doesn't matter, 3 days, 3 nights, 4 days, 4 nights. But there were also the time into coma. Yes, 1996. And yes, stimulating human beings into coma. Yes. And after, something happened inside the head. I felt electricity flowing over the entire head. I don't know precisely where, but so many at once. You know? 100,000, 200,000, I don't know. For me, it's unable to say. But it felt the creeping electricity was running at the same time. And then it concentrate, and it getting quicker. And then, at the same time, all the flowing processes were hit the pupil from the inside on my left pupil. But remember, in 1993, in Turkey, when that guy talked inside my listening cells and tried to give me the order that I should close the door. Does he were also that time able to see through my eyes? In 1997, I was visiting some friend of mine. They live in Netherlands, together with a girlfriend. And that time, that Nazi were still ongoing, torturing my teeth. Yes, he put some, he find the way to the teeth, you know. Then he put a non-stop electricity software ongoing in the teeth, and after a while you lose your teeth because the white thing inside the teeth is burned away from electricity flowing. At the time I still had pain, yes? And when we arrived at that family we were visiting in Rotterdam, we were inside the private flat, inside the flat, and my girlfriend were in the kitchen and helping preparing the lunch. No, sorry, the dinner. Then I saw something. I was sitting on a couch, then I saw something. A red balloon. The red balloon were moving in front of my eyes and to an open balcony door. That was a living room. I had a balcony door, a big window and a balcony door on the right side. And I stand up, went to the window, to the balcony door, and tried to catch the balloon. It was a balloon from children, from a small child, and I didn't want that the balloon is going to the balcony door. So I went up from the place I was sitting and went to the balcony door and want to grab the balloon, and then I felt something strange here. because the balcony door was 4 or 5 meter high, and when I go and try to catch the balloon, I fell down. Yes, I fell down, and on the balcony door I noticed something strange here, and then I went back to the place I was sitting, and the red balloon were still at the same place where it was before. But how did those computer Nazi rats got the stuff? Yes, they're taping inside that private living room, they tape it out of my seeing cells, and then they place that movie and manipulate that movie and place that red balloon which were on the ground laying there and didn't move, couldn't move, was not enough gas inside or something, huh? Was all the time laying on the ground. But in that movie they stimulate inside the seeing cells. I only see this movie, you know, and yes, those Nazi rats are taping and remove the things I see out of my seeing cells. Yes, there's no discussion about electronic mental slavery, things like that. And in 1996, that was 1997 with a movie in Rotterdam. In 1996, yes, when that Nazi shot inside my head, yes, I was sleeping, yes, and he shot a machine gun bullets, yes, inside my head, and he created bleeding inside my head, yes, and what do you call that? The Germans, yes. There's no investigation against those Nazis, And what can you do, when those Nazi rats, they organized it, 1993, to terror inside the listening cells. And there are a lot of other terror beside ongoing, not only in the listening cells. When I listen to music, let's say I have some music on my phone and make a connection to the Bluetooth box. I play the music, and they have a computer technology to get inside that frequency. I don't know if they got inside the Bluetooth connection, that they have a quicker Bluetooth connection, or if they rape the equipment that time. But anyhow, they rape the sound, they rape the lyrics, and they talk in between. Yes? The next level is when I'm online on YouTube and looking for news. They also have built up a connection to that sound system, and they use a Nazi microphone to talk in between. Yes, when there is music, when there are news, no matter what. And when I write a comment or something, very, very often the disconnect and the lyrics you wrote are gone forever. But they own it. They rob that and destroy that for yourself. So you have to start from the beginning. Yes. And now, American NATO, British NATO, your holy allies of the Germans. What would you do with Nazis who torture you inside your visibles? Play their movies, terrorize you, and also blind one seeing salvation. Take your clearness awake. What would you do with Nazi rats like that? You wicked soldiers.